What's up, guys? It's Go Depot here, dropping in another video because I was thinking about this financial issue for weeks and weeks now, so I finally decided to make a video on it. It's something that the average American goes through their entire adult lives, and that's credit card debt. Credit card debt sucks, but we're going to find a few key ways, tips, and tricks to get out of it. But first, let's start with the facts. Check it out. All right. So in order to get started, we have to first start with the facts. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here real quick so you guys can see. You should see it right now. I'm going to pop up here. As you see, I'm watching Elio trade, so I'm just going to open up a whole new tab and start typing credit card debt. As you see, I've typed it in already. And we have these first few bullet points from debt.org. We have another one kind of just like it from valuepenguin.org. I think I'll go with the one on top and just go over the first maybe two or three. So this first one says more than 191 million Americans have credit cards. There's nothing wrong with that. I think credit is good if you know how to use it. The population of the United States, if I remember correctly, is around 350 million. So over half of the entire U.S. population owns a credit card. The second one says, on average, a credit card holder has at least 2.7 credit cards, meaning if you were to pick out a person, they would at least have 2 credit cards on average. Some people have 3 or more, and you see that number 2.7. The average household credit card debt is $5,315. That's a lot of money, whether it's like a two-spouse household with 2 kids. That's still just so much money that you could be using somewhere else. So it's important to get these plans down and get that thing paid off so you can put that money elsewhere. Well, let's just read off the whole thing. The total U.S. consumer debt is 14.9 trillion. Trillion with the T. Not million, not billion, trillion. But that includes the mortgage, auto loans, credit card loans, and student loans. If you're tallying all that together, you're in the trillions. You're probably in the trillions with just credit card alone, but it's still so important to look at these facts and figure out the best way to knock this out as quick as you can so you can use that money somewhere else so you don't have to worry about credit card debt. But let's get started with the tips and tricks that we can use. Well, that's a lot of doom and gloom, but how in the world do we get out of credit card debt? So the first tip that I would say is find a plan, a payment plan that you want to stick to, that you can stick to, where it's consistently that I'm putting down $10 every Friday to this, or I see the minimum is $50, so I'm going to pay $55 every month and have it auto drafted, or I see my tax return is coming in, so I'm going to use half of it to pay it. Whatever the plan is, you have to stick to it. So come up with a payment plan and be committed to it. The second thing would be a debt consolidation plan. We've all seen those sites or maybe heard those ads where you can have a collector consolidate all your debts, and it might actually be cheaper because the interest is lower on this one lump sum versus 5 or 10 different ones where the interest is 20% higher than this one here, and one of them is like 1% lower. If it averages out to where the interest is better using this one, sometimes it's better to go with that kind of techniques, as long as it's from a reputable source. We've all heard about loan sharks and people getting into violent acts and stuff like that. If you're going to do something like that, do your research. In all of this, do your own research, but I think that is an important tip for number 2. If you realize this big lump sum is only getting that much bigger because of the interest, think about debt consolidation. Number 3 would be to ask, talk, and communicate with your debt collectors, your creditors. Closed mouths don't get fed. You might have a conversation with a person that is a part of that company that's trying to take some of the interest and money from you, and you realize you can do a different plan just because you spoke to them and found different resources. It is of the utmost importance that when you try to reach out, you get other answers to see if other things, other payment plans, other options are readily available to you, because they're not going to sit here and tell you everything. It might be in the terms of service that nobody reads. It might be on a long automated hold that nobody listens to, but it's important to reach out to them and see if there's other ways that you can get this payment handled. And the last tip that I would say was honestly seek help. There's so many Americans, as I've explained in the first part of the video, that is either in credit card debt right now or has gotten out of it, and they know ways and avenues. The internet is a powerful source, your network is a powerful source, but even if you have professionals like tax advisors, financial managers, things like that, don't take it with a kick to your pride to seek some help for this, because there's people that have known this and have been through this before and have the wisdom to help you out. So those 4 tips are super helpful. I actually don't remember the order, so I'm not going to screw it up. I'm just going to throw it on the screen here. Thanks for watching. Get out of credit card debt. Trust me, you're going to use that money for somewhere else and you're going to love it. That was all I had to say. Thanks. Leave a like. Peace. Take it easy.